Razer had a lot of making up to do to us after that Razer Cobra Pro release, and I believe they have with this new Viper V3 Hyperspeed release. Their Hyperspeed line has been seen as their budget line of mice. There is nothing budget about this, as they've thrown everything from their Pro line into this mouse, like the 30K Pro sensor, the Gen 3 switches, the new coating from the V3 Pro Death Adder, and best of all, this comes in a brand new shape. So today I want to go over why I think this mouse should be in contention for one of the best mouse releases of this year. Alright, so let's go over some of the changes from the Viper V2 Pro. Firstly, they've changed the coating. It's no longer that rough and slippery texture. They now have this S-tier surface similar to what's on the Death Adder V3 Pro. When you place your hand on this mouse, it feels like you are locked in and your grip feels unbelievable. Next, it did something I wasn't expecting, and that was change the shape, something they haven't done since the original V1 Viper. They took a risk and they raised the hump and put it more towards the middle of the mouse with a gradual hump towards the back. This is by far my favorite new shape of the year. It is simply fantastic. It feels like a hybrid between the Viper V2 Pro and the G Pro wireless. You get so much more control since the hump is more towards the center, and it gives you more stability when moving around on the mouse pad. The mouse still is on the bigger side when it comes to the dimensions. Sorry, mini lovers. I'm hoping what Razer is planning to do is base the new Viper Pro off of this shape. That should tell you how much I like this shape. It is simply amazing. If you've been on the channel a while, you know that's saying a lot, and I don't say that lightly. As for the grip style, since the sides are fairly straight, it's great for fingertip grip. It allows you to keep your fingers in a straight line, and it's definitely great for claw grip since that gradual hump from the middle goes down the back. And since the hump is in the middle, for palm, it's not going to shoot your fingers over the mouse, so you're going to get a nice comfortable grip for palm as well. So this is a truly do-it-all mouse. Now it is on the bigger side when it comes to dimensions, so I'd say medium to large-handed users, this is what it's going to be for, just like the original Viper. Sorry, small-handed users, you're still going to have to wait for that Viper Mini if it ever does come. I'm tired of saying it. In fact, this is probably the last video I'm going to bring up the Viper Mini, okay? It's just not, I'm not doing it anymore. My heart can't take it. Some other changes around the mouse are these ledges near the sides of the mouse 1 and 2 buttons so you don't pinch your fingers. The DPI button is now up top. Flipping the mouse over, we have the same kind of mouse feet setup as the original with the 2 mouse feet in the front and 1 around the sensor and 1 around the back. One thing you may have noticed is since this does use a battery for power, they had to move this sensor up on the mouse. Now, some people see this as a negative or a positive. Obviously, since we are used to having sensors in the middle or, slightly off center, it is going to take some getting used to. So don't just grab this mouse and say it sucks, the placement sucks. Give it some time, please. It took me a couple of days to get used to where the sensor was. Obviously, your muscle memory is going to be used to having that sensor in the middle, so give it some time. It's not horrible. Obviously, I would prefer it in the middle, but it's not the worst thing in the world. That being said, I was hitting some amazing shots with this, super precise, and after a while, like I said, you just get used to it. But you gotta give it some time. Don't go to mouse review and just start blasting the mouse. Give it some time, guys. So like I said, they had to move the sensor up because of the battery. Now the battery, you do have a couple of different options that you can play around with, and obviously it can affect the weight of this mouse. So your options are, you can put in a regular AA battery and this puts the mouse at 81 grams. You can put in a lithium AA battery and this puts it at 73 grams. A lithium AAA battery with an adapter will get you down to 69 grams, which is more than manageable. And I'll link that adapter down below in the battery that I'm using. But overall, no matter what battery I put in it, it did feel balanced. It gave me that sense of Razer magic once again that was missing in the Cobra Pro. Again, it doesn't have to be the lightest mouse in the world, but at least make it well balanced. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys personally, I've been using mice at around the 50-gram weight, and it was hard moving over to this mouse at first. My wrist was tired. I was a little when I was moving it around. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to do the wrist movements, all the gamer wrist exercises in between gaming with this mouse after moving over from my G-Wolves. Since I have a low sense, I'm picking up this mouse constantly and I definitely felt it. Now I would love to see this at a lower weight, like a 60 grams, but then they'd be cannibalizing the Pro line. So I understand why they don't want to do that. I do find the battery life to be amazing with this. You get 280 hours on 1000 Hertz, and when you switch over to the 4000 Hertz dongle, you get 75 hours. I've been using this mouse pretty regularly, you know, my standard gaming time, and it definitely lasts longer than the G-Wolves mice or the Pulsar mice or the Lamzu mice at this point. You can see the battery indicator in the Synapse software. I don't know how accurate it is. Still says it's damn near full for me. There's no percentage on there. They're not going to be able to do that like they would with an internal battery, but this thing is like running a marathon. I can't even get it low enough to even show you guys what the battery indicator would even look like in the software when it's low. So I guess that's a really good sign. It is an extra cost that you will be buying batteries, but hey, if it's lasting this long, you probably don't have to buy too many of them. The mouse 1 and 2 buttons are really nice on this, very consistent all around the button. It feels pretty consistent. Appreciate that they don't get too stiff near the top of the mouse. I do find the V2 Pro switches feel slightly crispier, and they are both the same optical switch. It's just that these are implemented differently than those. The scroll wheel also feels better on this. It's a lot smoother but still defined. The side buttons are now separated instead of together, and they feel better than the V2 Pros. The pre-travel is excellent. So let's drop a sound test so you can hear what the Viper V3 Hyperspeed sounds like. Oh yeah, I had to do it. I had to bring it back for this mouse. It is that good. So putting it all together, you get some of Razer's best technology here in a fantastic new shape that's S tier. One of my favorite shapes of the year. Like I said, 4000 Hz dongle compatible, has great battery life. The buttons feel amazing. It's hard to argue against this being one of the best mice of the year, especially at that $70 price point. Some people might see the higher placement of the sensor as a negative, but it's just something that you have to get used to, and this shape is definitely worth getting used to. That is until we get the Viper V3 Pro. So hang in there with the Hyperspeed until we get that V3 Pro. At least you'll be used to the shape by the time that one comes in. At the end of the day, shape is king, and this is proof of that. The control that you get with the coating and this shape is just next to none. My headshot percentage, I kid you not, has gone up 3% since I've gotten this mouse. Razer told other companies that are charging $100, $120, $170 for 4K, hold my beer. You guys can have this for around $70 to $90. I love that they are lowering the price point for the 4000 Hz mic. So I know I was very critical in that Razer Cobra Pro video. A lot of you guys didn't like that I was critical, but they have bounced back. This is Razer doing what Razer does, Razer things at Razer magic. And I can't wait to see the Razer Viper V3 Pro come out. This Hyperspeed, I don't even mind the wait just because it's that good. Razer did an amazing job. This is a phenomenal mouse, and anybody that is a claw, a palm, a relaxed claw, I have no qualms about recommending this mouse to any of y'all. If you have an extra $70 to spend, you already have the 4K dongle, yo, go cook with this. Go cook. I'm telling you, this is a fantastic mouse. So if you have any questions about the V3 Hyperspeed that I didn't answer in this video, let me know down below and I'll try to answer you. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? You're missing out on some of the best videos on the internet. My boy, my girl, what you doing? All right, so yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. It has been your boy BT saying